Welcome back, everybody. It is episode 16. We are so excited. Look at Sauce. Look at Lucky. Those guys are smiling. We're just talking about how we couldn't believe that we've made 16 episodes, and we still have many more planned. Today, we're going to be going over some hardware. You know, what's the best hardware to use, and thank God, podcast hardware is so cheap. And when should you start a merch store? Let's get into it. All right, Lucky, you for the longest have been our tech guy. So one of our people, Nana, as usual, you guys hear her a lot in these episodes, sent us a very interesting video going over hardware, which is something that I was wanting to talk, or I'm sorry, IP address, which is something super awesome I want to talk about because I've heard about affiliates, people trying to, grind for affiliate. There you go, Sauce. Where they'll pull up multiple different accounts trying to watch their own stream to help them cheat their way to affiliate, because it is that easy. Just 3 accounts watching, you get affiliate, as long as you get the followers, which that's the little bit of the harder part if you're cheating. So what do you say? What says you about IP addresses and stuff?
Well, I mean, the best way to look at it is, let's say you're in a household with a home Wi-Fi, right? And you're on the same Wi-Fi. Your significant others on the same Wi-Fi. If you live with your family, everybody's on that same Wi-Fi. That's all the same IP address. You make a Twitch account and you say, "Hey, I made a Twitch account. Can each one of y'all pull me up?" It's only going to count as one viewer.
Gotcha. Even though it shows 3, right? Because it'll show the different accounts watching.
No, but you only count as one because you're all on the same IP address.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
I'd love to hear your opinion on this, Sauce. How do you feel about these people cheating basically their way into affiliate?
I mean, it's dumb.
Yeah.
It's not going to help you in the long run. So what does it matter if you have 1 account, 3 accounts of your own watching your stream? At the end of the day, no one's watching your stream because they're not real people.
Right.
And to become a better streamer, you have to be comfortable having nobody in your streaming and get good at that. Make yourself entertaining for when people actually come in and are watching. And if you get affiliate by putting fake viewers in there, did you really do anything? Like, yeah, you unlocked monetization and emotes and things like that, but at the end of the day, who's going to be using them? Who's going to be donating? Who's going to gift subs? Who's going to do any of that?
Right.
Because there's nobody watching, right? So just do it the normal way, like talk to people, network with people, stream, make friends. That's the whole point. The reason there is a threshold for monetization is because they want you to learn how to do it. Well, Twitch wants you never to learn how to do it and just always not be affiliate. But that's besides the point.
Majority of platforms still not affiliated. So yeah, you're right.
It's true. But it's all about making friends at the end of the day. If you can start doing that, you'll be an affiliate in no time. Like we talked about a few episodes ago, our very own Katza Gemini became an affiliate in 2 weeks?
Record for the community.
And that's because she made herself an important part of the communities. Do that. Make yourself important to somebody. Right. They'll come watch your stream because they like you. That's the whole definition of what networking is making friends.
Yeah.
And by making friends, you're going to have more viewers. So do it that way. You actually earn it. It'll actually mean something whenever you get it. I mean, there's no reason to tab yourself up, honestly. And that goes for the people over on Kick, like we talk about all the time. Tab for tab doesn't help you, does it?
Nope.
No, it doesn't at the end of the day, right?
Shots fired.
Jab in there.
It's the same thing,
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
Like if you are trying to get people to subscribe to your YouTube channel.
Oh, geez.
You don't want to just post it all over Twitter like every other day or all over Threads or wherever you're posting it. saying, "Man, I'm trying to get this many subscribers." At the end of the day, they're hollow subscribers. They're not going to watch your content because they don't actually care.
Right.
So
Yeah, and then that really hurts you, right? Because your stuff gets pushed to them, and no
yeah,
view,
it
which
does.
means no more pushing. So, yeah,
It does.
absolutely.
It's all about finding your people, and you find your people the old-fashioned way: elbow grease, working hard, and figuring it out, which is what everyone has to do. You got to cut your teeth somewhere
What did we call it?
and
Sweat equity?
sweat equity. That's
Oh,
right.
Right. Yeah.
heyo.
Like I said, you got to cut your teeth somewhere.
Yeah.
You're not going to be great whenever you first start. You get better by doing it. And as you get better, more people will start watching. So
Yeah.
do it the right way.
Yeah, I think bringing up Katie is super interesting, because she was in all the communities. She's in communities we're not even aware of, because she wanted to be, not even with the intention of streaming. And like we said, she hit that go live button in 2 weeks, not even, just became, boom, affiliate. It was amazing. She had already been gathering followers just for people wanting to follow her, even though she didn't stream. So it was really, really an awesome thing to see. But one of the things that made me feel really good is A, she said we motivated her, but B was she also said that time wasn't wasted. She didn't look at it as like, oh, I spent 8 months of my time before I could get to this point. It was she got to watch, learn, come up with ideas and stuff, all that, all not intentional, just by wanting to be there and then eventually getting the, want or need to stream now. So that is super interesting. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, we've already covered that. You cheating your right affiliate, it doesn't get you anything. I thought emotes was an interesting thing to bring up because, like you said, you have to make those, which when you're brand new, I think most people, everybody's had a different answer. But my personal experience was about 2 weeks of that emote even getting approved. So when you're brand new, you have to get your emotes approved. You don't even have follower emotes unlocked. So if you cheated your way by getting to affiliate and not, again, like we talked about, learning how to stream, learning how to interact, learning how to be entertaining, nobody's going to come in and sub to you to use an emote because that's how they're going to have to sub to you to use it. Well, when they come in and you're not even looking at chat or you're not entertaining, they're not going to spend it. So grinding to make that emote was a waste, really. Of course, we've said in the past, even if you don't need something right now, making it and having it ready is a good idea. Sure. But cheating your way to affiliate is only hurting you in the long run. Well, we've covered that in depth in the past episode. So I just thought this IP thing was interesting. You do hear about a lot of people making several accounts and doing it. I even tried it way back before you guys found me and I was all by myself and I was thinking about giving up and all that. I was just like, man, but like you said, if it all comes from the same router, the system knows somehow. I'm not an expert there. And my viewer count never changed. It never went up. And I was just confused. So I gave up on doing it, and had to put that sweat equity in and work and get where we are today. So yeah, I just don't think it's a good way to cut those corners when it comes to this, because all that work that you guys put in is really what helps you learn. I still watch super great streamers today that I think still have a long way to go. A lot of people high ceiling, but some people I watch that still just kind of fall too much into the game and just like never really into their chat. One of the excuses I got, which is a classic one, was, well, there's nobody chatting. You got to learn how to be entertaining without a chatter. It's just rough. It's one of the hardest things we do, which is why cheating and getting there ahead of time is not the move. So.
We talk about this for just a second. I know we have like a plan, but I'm going off book here. All right. So is being an affiliate that big of a deal to begin with? Because yeah, you have unlocked monetization, you have emotes, you have channel points, but you can do all of that through extensions or other services without having to use Twitch for it. And then you have to put ads on your channel whenever you do have monetization unlocked and you're an affiliate. And you don't have those whenever you're not.
Can you still do custom emotes?
You can do it through better TTV emotes. You can upload your own custom emotes there, and they can be used on your channel without a problem. Now, I don't know if they can be used all over Twitch. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I know they can be used on your channel. which
Gotcha.
majority of the time that's where they're used anyway, right?
So they're going to operate as like a follower emote, basically, almost.
Kind
Basically.
of. Yeah, they would
Gotcha.
operate exactly like that. And you can do things through your different bots that are quote unquote like channel point redemptions. Like we use Mix It Up bot for several things that they can do, like exclamation point this or
Right.
exclamation point that, and it brings something up. Or you
Right.
can use Stream Elements and have like a point store where they can use points that they get from watching the stream, just like Twitch points, to redeem something. So at the end
Interesting.
of the day, is it that big of a deal? Because you can also do subscriptions through like Patreon or through Discord or all these other avenues. So is the trade off even worth it at the end of the day? Is cheesing your way into being an affiliate worth it whenever there's so many different avenues that you can use anyway?
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, that's valid, dude. You know, I just think a lot of people just look at that goal, and we've talked about it in the past. They grind for that goal and they want that goal, and then when you meet it, and that's usually when they give up, because after that they
Not what they
realize,
thought.
oh my god, it didn't get me anywhere. So yeah, I mean, there is all those different things that you can do. It's just I think people just look at it as they think once they unlock it, they're gonna get rich. I think a lot of naive new streamers think that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
all I got to do is get the ability to make money, because they, you know, they get inspired. They get on TikTok, they get on YouTube, and they see, you know, Mr. Beast came in and donated $10,000. Like, you don't need to be affiliate for a donation link.
Nah.
So, you know, they see those things, and they it's like playing the lottery, and I don't think people see that. You know,
Yeah.
you're literally 1 in a million. You know, you
Or
literally
maybe they get
the
one
odds are
video that
stacked.
does like 30,000 views, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh man, like I should go big."
Right,
know?
exactly. So, yeah, man, I just affiliate really ain't worth it, you know. And honestly, we've seen in the past bigger streamers. I think, you know, Ninja who
He
stepped
dropped his
away
affiliate status for a while,
just so the people
Yeah.
wouldn't have
or his
ads.
partner status.
Yeah. No, he lost his. No, he went all the way down to regular because he didn't get subs.
He
Even.
went ahead and got rid of it. Yeah,
Yeah, I think there was
that
other
was whenever
factors to go into it.
multi-streaming was the
Right.
thing. Yeah,
Right.
and then it became legal, and he became back to what it was. But
Yeah.
Right.
He was like, I'm the first streamer to stream everywhere. And I'm like, I've seen other people do this before.
Yeah. So.
he's like, but I'm the first one with this color blue hair to do it.
Yeah. So that being said, you know, work on yourself, work on your craft, you know, be entertaining. And I know it's just like, well, what does that even mean? It means whatever you interpreted it as. What is your entertainment? I think the three of us have very similar, while very different, very similar views on streaming and what a streamer is, as far as being an entertainer, talking to people, creating a sense of community, you know, getting to know people, making real friends online. And that's how we run our community. That's what makes our community so tight knit. But there are different types of streamers, you know, as Pantless talked about in our last episode. You know, there are streamers who are just super goated at the game, and they're there for their skill. There's people that do walkthroughs who are super intelligent and know how to, they've already played this game. They can walk you through it and give you tips and stuff. All those streamers can get away with, you know, focusing on the game only. You know, there's just chatting streamers who only chat. They don't play a game. You know, there's all different sizes, brands, colors, tastes, whatever you want to call them. It's all different. So again, all this is interpretation of you. What is your goal? What do you want to be? You know, if you want to be known for just this certain thing of a streamer, then figure out what makes that entertaining. You know, unfortunately, a lot of people, if you look at the numbers, they're choosing to be Valorant streamers, they're choosing to be Minecraft streamers, and you know, when COD streamers, when you get super saturated, you know, it's been done, seen done. You know, right now, my chosen content on YouTube is gun builds. There's a trillion videos on every gun. You know, I'm literally throwing my videos out into a sea, but that's the one thing that I feel like I can do consistently and passionately right now. And I'm hoping it hits. But you know, coming in and trying to find your thing, you know, that's what it's about. So when you cheat your way to the top, you're not going to find that's going to get lost. And then you're just going to be another account.
What you stream can be different from what you stream can be different than what you actually post in content. You know, like if I wanted to be a COD streamer or a variety streamer, I stream a bunch of different stuff, but my content is me doing goofy things like, making dad jokes or, you know,
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
I make I'm good at video editing, so I do like funny little video shorts of myself,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, like
You can do
Adobe
different things.
walkthroughs, Adobe tips, or
Mhm.
any other software. Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. That's definitely a good callback to last episode for sure. That's exactly,
Mhm.
we talked about it. It's just you can
Mhm.
do pretty much. That's the beauty of streaming. I think that's what a lot of us get so fascinated with wanting to become streamers. It's like you can do anything. When you start
Mhm.
getting mad that you're not growing in your thing, and that's on you. Like
Yeah.
There's an audience out there for everything.
yeah, you just gotta find
So
them.
what you have to do as a creator is figure out what you are passionate about, what you enjoy, what you're not going to hate yourself doing all the time. Like if I tried to play COD all the time, I would hate myself. It's not my thing. So
Valid.
why would I do that?
We just
Just
got him to
because,
re-download it the other day.
yeah, it's been like what, 2 years and I
Two
haven't touched the
years.
game, and I just got on it the other day because these knuckleheads wanted to play, and I'm running people over in Rebirth now.
It was
Yeah.
an
But
accomplishment.
yeah, it was. So I think that's the biggest thing is just be honest with yourself. Like know who you are, know what you want to do, and do it. Don't do it for the number. Don't do it for the recognition. Do it for you. Do it because you enjoy doing it, and just have fun. The whole reason you got into streaming, the whole reason you play video games, the whole reason you started making content should be because you enjoy it and it's fun. And if
Yeah.
that's not the reason, reassess.
Yeah.
Figure out why you're doing it. If you're doing it to get rich, quit, because that's not the reason you should be doing this.
Yeah, I mean, and again, that's another great callback. I mean, I think in Crash's episode, she said it best. You should be doing this for fun, and if not,
Mhm.
take a break, reset, figure out do you miss it because you miss the gaming part of it or the community part of it, or are you missing numbers? And then when you find out your answer, make a decision at that point. Yeah, so
Mhm.
yeah, just definitely super good things. I think an interesting thing to talk about, which I think would help a lot of members of our community right now, and something that I definitely just experienced that I'm not gonna sit here and get into because I don't care. But I think it's good content for people who are struggling or do care, is learning that if you network correctly, typically that is with other streamers, right?
Mhm.
Being in their communities, learning their communities, talking with them, gaining friends, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, I personally feel, okay, and this is going to get controversial, that having a lot of other streamer friends is like the worst thing that you can do and rely on as viewership. Because if all my friends are streamers that come and view my stream, they're gonna have times where they stream and it overlaps. They're gonna have people. You start like we do. We share a community, right? You're gonna start having people that all want to be in our stream at the same time. So they might have to, if we're lucky and they're nice, they tab up all three of us if we're all three live at the same time. But they're gonna pick one place to chat. Maybe they bounce back and forth. So those are things you have to be aware of when you're networking.
Mhm.
I think other streamers are low key some of the worst people to rely on is just having in your community, because they're not always going to be there for the viewership. So, and I think a lot of people get caught up on that because one person starts seeing success and then they stop coming by, or whatever. Sometimes those people get mad and they unfollow you or they leave you or whatever the case is, or they become that silent hater because, oh, you're doing good, but you don't come by my stream. Well, that's literally, and I think Sauce coined this the other day, which I was like, wow, that's literally like a follow for follow
Wow.
mentality. That's like a tab for tab
Mhm.
mentality. You expect this other streamer to be there with you. Well, they have a channel to run. They have content to make. I don't know how often Sauce comes by the stream and he's like, I'm here, but I'm muted because I'm making content. Thank you.
Yeah.
You came by, you showed love, you showed support, but then you got to go do your own thing. Like, I don't, not once if I got mad. If anything, I'm like, hell yeah, bro. That means I got to make sure I grind my video after this because you're over there grinding yours after your stream because you stream during the day now. So
Mhm.
I just think that's
a
something to
super
think about.
thing. Yeah, that's a super important thing to think about because everyone, obviously, whenever you show love to somebody, you expect something reciprocated back to you, right? Like that's the
Which is
human nature.
wrong.
Right. That's human nature, right?
Right.
You expect, like, if I give you some water, like eventually maybe you're going to give me
Water?
some water, or maybe
I
you're going to
give
give
you
me some
cookie, you
food.
give me cookie.
Yeah, something like that, right? Which is fine to think that way most of the time,
Yeah.
but not all the time. Like, you can't expect a viewer, you can't expect somebody giving you something back. You should only be giving things to people, like your time, your effort, your love, your loyalty, because you feel like they deserve it, not because you want them to give you that back. Because that is the definition of support for support, quite
Mm.
literally.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I was
So,
missing, I guess.
and like, I'm not a big fan of people when they use the term "let's grow together." Like,
Oh, yeah.
obviously, I want to see people grow. Anyone in my community, I would love to see grow. I will support as much as I can because I love each and every one of them.
Right.
But it's impossible for me to be in every one of their streams every single time they go live. It is just not a thing that can happen. There's only so many hours in a day. I have so many things I got to get done. I have a life outside of streaming. I got a life outside of content creation. We all do.
Oh, yeah.
So if I'm going in there to show you love, it's because I care about you. I care about your content. I want to see you be successful. It's not because you were in my stream before. There's people that I go and hang out in their stream that have been to my stream maybe once or twice just because I enjoy their content and I like them as a person. So I'm supporting them.
Absolutely.
sure.
And I don't expect them to randomly pop in my stream and be like, what's up?
You know, that's
Right.
like I hang out with, you know, Roly Poly Potamus. I fucking love that dude.
Mhm.
I've had zero expectation of him to ever come by anything for me. So,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, yeah.
Which is what it should be. You should have zero expectation. 100% intention with zero expectation. That is
Mm-hmm.
kind of what you should be going for. And I think that's not even just a streaming and content creation thing. That should be like something you go for in your life in
In
general.
life, right?
Yeah.
Is being a loving person who wants to share love, be supportive, and just do it out of the kindness of your heart.
Facts. We're making streamers
Hell
or
yeah.
making good people. What are we doing out here?
Well, the goal is to make both.
That's awesome, bro. I'm proud of you.
Both.
No, yeah, and I'm going to use these two as an example because you know they're mature adults. Not saying anybody else in the community is not. I'm just using these two because I know I can talk to these two on a level playing ground, and they're not going to get mad at me and misinterpret what I'm saying right now. But
Girl,
like,
I'm mad.
big shout out to Kool-Aid Vision and Sibio3. Okay, the powerhouse couple of streaming Call of Duty Warzone right now.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Both amazing fucking creators, right? Spent a lot of time with Kool-Aid. You know, but Sibby was live one day, so I was over there spending time with her, you know, getting to know her and her community because she's got her own little separate thing, regardless of those two having an extremely mixed community like we do, you know. And she kind of bragged in the middle of her stream, well, Aztecan's over here with me, so, and he was just like, okay, he supports me all the time. I'm okay with it, and I thought that was super awesome because he already understands what we're talking about. You know, not everybody's always going to be with you. You know, as somebody in a community, like I try to show love to all my people. You know, and those two are definitely a big part of my community as well. So, you know, definitely finding the time to hang out with different people at different times when they finally catch a stream of theirs is big for me. You know, I catch Sauce a lot during work sometimes, but I can't be there all the time. So when he streams at night, I make a big point to be in there as much as I can. You know, some other members of the community are live. I'll try to go say hi real quick, but I spend a lot of my time in there with you because it's just like I never get to any other time. So those are things you have to realize. Everybody's situation is different. Everybody's time is different. Things that we look at is way different. So the point I was making though is like, you know, you should never have the intention to go to somebody's community and steal their viewers, right? You shouldn't do that. But part of what like we talked about Katie earlier, what she does so amazing is she made friends with the chat, right? She comes in and people are like, how was your day? You know, wanting to know about her. And it's like, whoa, like what the fuck? I'm the streamer. What about my day? You know? But she didn't ask for it. She didn't come in and just be like overbearing in chat. She didn't make chat about her. Chat made it about her, which was super, like that is super awesome and natural to see. You know, just by being herself, being funny, being quirky, saying the funny things that she said, you know. So that
Mhm.
that is what you should be doing when you're networking in other people's channels. If those people come to see you, awesome. They're definitely gonna be better supporters than the streamer themselves, you know, because like Sauce just said it before this. Everybody's competition.
Mhm.
Everybody
I
wants
mean,
to
at the end of the
grow.
day, yeah.
Everybody wants to be number one. Everybody wants to have, you know, 1,000+ people in their stream all the time. Well, not everybody, but Crash said no. But you know, everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants this to be their full-time job that's doing this seriously.
Mhm.
So there's things you gotta think about, you know. So I think that's super interesting is to see is when people get upset at their friends who are streamers for not being around. Like you, like if one of you two did that to me, I'd be so lost. I'd be like, what? Like, you know, I work, you know, like, you know, my situation. I think that's something awesome that Haas has done. He's just never given me a hard time because he switched his schedule and now I can't be there during the day. Before it was very doable for me.
Mhm.
So that's just one of those things. All right.
Yeah.
Did you have
Mhm.
something else? I heard somebody
Yeah,
say
I
something.
definitely think it's important that we reiterate something we've said in the past. No one owes you their time. No one owes you the view. No one owes you anything. So when they're there, be happy they're there. Thank them for being there and enjoy it
Yeah.
because they don't owe you a damn thing. So be grateful. And when they're not there, it's okay. They have a life too.
It's copying Lucky, sorry. He just yes.
Yeah.
No, and yeah, you've said that before, and that's one of my favorite clips that, you know, we've made for socials. This is, and I think it's such a powerful message, and that we've had a
Mhm.
lot of comments on. People are just like, "Wow, I never thought of it that way." So I think that's a super good message. Did you have anything else, Lucky, or I want to move on to a funner subject other than all the serious Debbie Downer
Uh,
stuff?
just a quick question. So let's say you have a friend that you like they come in, y'all get to talking, chatting to one another. They also stream, they do it the right way. You
Okay,
know, they don't ever mention that they stream in chat or anything like that.
right.
So one day you as a streamer you ask them like, "Hey man, do you also stream?" You know, and then y'all get onto that content, the comment about it. So everything's done right. Networking was done right, but you like them as a person, but you go to check out their stream, but their content just isn't for you.
Yeah.
Don't watch it.
Are you going to keep going, check and
No,
hanging out with them just because you know y'all hit it off good while not
no.
like while you're you know what I'm saying?
If I don't like your content, I'm not going to watch your content. It's my time. I have to invest it where I think it makes sense. And if I'm not enjoying my time when I'm in there, like I might enjoy the person, I'm enjoying talking to them. Like I've been in places where I have to really, really like you to not like the game that you're playing and watch it. Okay.
Relatable. Relatable.
Relatable.
So if I have that kind of relationship with you, if I think that's that important, I'll be there. But if not, I will not. Like if I don't vibe with you, I don't vibe with you. And just because I
Yeah.
vibe with you talking in my chat doesn't mean I vibe with you in person or live. Just like if you meet, like if you guys meet each other in real life, you guys will probably vibe, probably. But there's a 0.01% chance you don't. And if you don't, I'm sure you guys aren't hanging out the whole time you're there. You'll probably be like, well, twas nice, gotta be hitting the dusty trail. And
Mm.
Lucky's gonna drive himself back to North Cadillac.
North Cadillac.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
agree.
mean, my question for you, Lucky, would just be, you know, why does it matter to you? You know, to me,
No,
from theoretically, sorry,
okay.
theoretically, why
Okay.
does it matter to you? Because to me, if anybody asked me that in that exact way you just asked me, to me, what you sound like is a person desperate for views. So you feel like you
Mhm.
need to be present in this person's stream just to get their view. If that's the case, they're not the viewer for you. And everything, I mean, I stand behind everything Sauce just said. It's your time. So why would you spend it somewhere you're not vibing with, or you're not comfortable with, or you don't agree with? You know, we have quite a few people like that we've come by amongst our careers of, you know, they came in their chat that were super awesome, and then, you know, I went to this one guy stream and he's like, making jokes about suicide and just calling women, you know, out of their name and just doing all that. And I'm just like, oh damn, like you never acted that way in my stream. And I think because
You passed
know,
the vibe
we-
check and then you immediately lost it.
right, yeah, like we've made it very clear like what the rule and how we run our stream is, and then you know, obviously they're more than welcome to run their stream however they want, whether we agree with it or not at the end of the day. But yeah, that's just not what we want, you know. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
so that's what I would say to you theoretically, or your theoretical friend, whatever you got going on over there, is just, you know,
It
no
was just
viewer
a
is
in
that
general
important.
question. I would say the
Okay.
only time I ever said I had something like that happen
Was with
this
me, got it.
No, this was back whenever I first started streaming. I had someone that I would go over and I would chill in their streams and everything every once in a while. They were really cool, but there were a few things that I didn't appreciate, you know, but I was just starting out streaming and exploring that whole
Yeah.
world, so I was still learning and everything.
I know who you're talking
So-
about. I left that community too. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you weren't around then.
He's like, this is before we found you.
we haven't even met yet.
Wow.
So
Sounds
so
like
he started
irrelevant
coming
times to
back
me.
so he started coming back into my streams, and you know, he would drop bits occasionally here and there.
Cool, thanks.
And so I was like, hey, that's awesome, you know. So out of respect and love, I was like, you know what, I'll drop a few bits here and there for him too. But and then I started learning about like support for support and all this and that, and I was like, I wonder if that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
You know, so it got me kind of thinking about it. So I quit doing the bits, but I still showed up in stream occasionally. And there was one day I was streaming, he popped in and he was like, hey man, like you never stop by the stream anymore. You don't, and I still stopped by the stream, but I was lurking. I just
Right.
wouldn't chat. Just
Gotcha.
wouldn't be chatting. You know, so then he was like, oh well, you know, you don't give me any more bits, you know, you ain't in stream no more, you ain't talking.
fuck?
I'm like, okay.
You're
Like,
lucky I wasn't
now
around
see
for
what
this.
Support for support. Yeah, that's what he was
Yeah,
after,
now,
man.
now I see what you like. Yeah.
So I think that's something else super interesting to kind of speak about, even though I wanted to go to a fun subject. Is there are going to be times like that, and it always happens when you're doing well. You know, you have, you know, 10 plus, 15 plus, 20 plus viewers in there, and all of a sudden somebody out of nowhere comes in and starts gifting and just doing, basically showing off, trying to steal your people at that point. That happens, you know, whether they
Mhm.
mask it well or not. You know,
Yep.
that is a real thing. Now, don't go assuming that about everybody. Don't go just being suspicious immediately. But I
Right.
mean, I have, how do I say this? I've had a, you know, very generous donor come in, and then we go to their stream and, you know, definitely not practice the things that we practice in this community, you know, and people were like, oh, what are you going to do about it? Nothing. That's their stream. If you don't like it, don't go to it. They don't condone,
Right.
they don't conduct themselves that way in this community when they're here, because they know the set rules that we have. So they're more than welcome to stay. Whatever this person's views are or beliefs are, or, you know, idealisms or whatever that they use in their stream and words they use in their stream, that's all on them, dude. Like, let them run their stream the way they want. I'm not going back. You know, you don't have to either. But they play by the rules when they're in our community, and we love them to death. So I just think that's how everybody has to look at it, because I think some people are so quick to find out, you know, a piece of information about somebody, or go to their stream and see how they are and just be like, oh, I want this person gone. Why? You know, if that if that bleeds into your community and you don't want it, then okay. You know, but other than that, people be people and let them do them.
People do be people. And I think it's a tough
Yeah.
thing for people to learn at the beginning, whenever you first start streaming, that it's okay to not have that person there anymore.
Yeah.
Because at the end
Yeah.
of the day, one person don't make or break your stream. I mean, they could break it, I guess, but they definitely aren't the reason that you're going to be successful or not. So
Yeah.
get rid of them.
I mean,
They
Lucky,
ain't
you're
worth the heartache.
a good guy, and I can already know how that rest of that conversation went in live in your stream, and I wasn't even around. You're soft, bro. Because I would have just been like, oh, okay, and I would have outed that person immediately right there live, and made an enemy, because that's what I do best. Yeah, man. If somebody comes in and asking me why I ain't come by or why I ain't throwing them stuff anymore, that's an unfollow. That's a, you know, block if they're, you know, an idiot and want to continue to fight with you. That's the type of person I don't want around me, dude. Also you have to also respect that other person and realize maybe their situation's not the same as it was a month ago. Maybe they can't afford to throw bits at you and throw subs at you. I have way too many community members that I wrenches my stomach all the time that I can't even sub to, and I would love to, So then I end up just going to their chat and when it's hot and be like, "Yo, who the fuck trying to gift a sub right now?" I usually try to get up a sub, try to get myself a sub, to gift it to their channel and help them out at the same time. Obviously we read the vibe of the chat. We don't go in there ruining the vibe, and we try to be like, "Oh, everybody's kind of gifty right now. Hey, what about me?" So I've helped so many community members get a sub just because I did that. Because it is what it is. My wallet is thin, and there's about 3 people that I'm resubbing to every month, and it's you two and Nana. That's all I can afford. The 3, to me, heads of this community. So it is rough, dude. There's way more that I'd like to, but you can't. So yeah, if somebody comes in,
it's not possible.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that mentality is the exact same thing. Because they're giving you something, you feel like you have to give them something back.
Right.
Which is the same mentality that we talked about a little while ago, just flipped on its head. So at the end of the day, you don't owe anybody anything because they watch your stream or because they gift your stream or because they give you your time. So it's a two-way street. Like, I don't owe you guys anything technically. Like, I give you my time because you guys are awesome and I enjoy your guys' company, not because I owe you guys anything. Because at the end of the day, we are 3 separate people with 3 separate things that are coming together to do one podcast right now.
Well, this is fucking news to me. No, I mean, you're absolutely right. Yeah, we joke back and forth so much. I wonder how much our community thinks is like serious or joking or whatever. But at the end of the day, Saw said it the other day. Like, I don't have to come by your YouTube. You're right. You don't have to. Absolutely. Like, you don't. And I already know my content's not for you. It's not aimed at you. So, it's just one of those things, like you said earlier, is we have certain people that we feel strongly about and we're going to support regardless of what it is. I know a lot more about Fallout than I want to right now.
I'm sure you do.
So it's just not, it is what it is. So, okay. All right. Fun subject. Okay. Which
subject.
I mean, maybe it's fun. It might sting a little for some people. We get asked all the time from newer streamers in the community. This is a question I had when I was up and coming and learning from these two is merchandise. When do you make a merch store? How do you make a merch store? Where is the merch store? How do you get people to buy your merch? I think there's a lot of awesome questions that come with merch. But I think merch is a super cool thing to have. And I think we've said it in the past is we like to prep and we like to be ready. So it'd be really cool to have it. And, maybe it doesn't sell or whatever. As long as you find the right store, it's not going to charge you for having a store and having, available things to buy. That's where you start learning about merch stores, and you make sure you get one that doesn't backstock product pre-made. You want it made to order. So that's something you got to be careful with when you're searching for outside of the standard, Streamlabs, Stream Elements stores that come pretty automatic. When you start finding bigger ones, because sometimes they want you to pay and put a backstock on the shelf. I would never recommend that. Even as a big streamer, I wouldn't recommend that. Unless it's flying off the shelf. I do pay to order. Or order to, what I'm trying to say.
Direct to order.
So, but what do you guys think? When should you start a merch store as a new streamer?
I like the way Sauce says things from past episodes. Go ahead and do it now. Why not go ahead and have it ready beforehand?
Yeah.
Yup. That's about it. Just have it ready. Like, what's the point in not? What are you losing?
I mean, there's a lot of thought that goes into having a merch store. What kind of merch do you want? And I didn't really never think about this either. Whenever I go through Fourth Wall to do my merch, to do my merchandise. I go through Fourth Wall, not sponsored, but I really enjoy their website. They give you a custom website. You customize it how you want, color scheme and all. But whenever you go to choose a shirt, I never thought that there would be 15 different shirts of the same color, but texture and everything feels different. I'm not
50% cotton,
professional.
50% polyester,
Right,
Different
dry
weights,
fit.
different
None of
everything.
that.
Yeah.
A crew neck, a V neck,
Yeah.
all
So
the things.
Sauce
but you
uses
gotta-
fourth
you
wall as
gotta-
well.
I do.
Mhm.
Yeah, I use Fourth
Yeah.
Wall. Great platform if you guys can
Oh,
get in
yeah.
there to use it. I recommend it. It's super good. You can
100%.
I enjoy it mostly because it has inclusive sizing and I can set the prices. So I can set every shirt if it's a extra small or if it's a 5X to $15 and
Right.
you don't have to pay more for bigger sizes. As a bigger guy, that's important to me because I hate having to pay more money for a shirt whenever the
Facts.
fabric doesn't cost fucking $8 more. Okay, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But that's a soapbox that I can be on another day. But it's a great service and it gives you a lot of ability to do things. I would recommend staying away from Stream Elements. I don't know much about Streamlabs, but the reason I recommend staying away from Stream Elements for your merch is the quality's not as good.
It's not. Yeah.
It's not. Like
I think
after a few washes, the
gone.
first hoodie
Yeah.
that I had, the picture started wearing off.
Yeah.
And I've
Right.
had merch from Fourth Wall now for like 2 years that's just starting to have a little bit of appeal on it from how much I wore it.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
I think that is an interesting to talk about. You're not, once you decide on a merch store, you're not like stuck there. I mean, shit, I have 3 active right now. Actually,
Yeah, you can move.
I have 4. I haven't announced number 4, and I'm still putting things in there. But I have all 3 active, or you can move, you can ditch one. But I think, to counter what you said, yes, Stream Elements quality is shit. Their prices, I mean, they're cheap, but they're not even as cheap as they should
You
be
get
for
what
their
you pay
quality.
for?
No, you're still overpaying a little bit.
Still overpaying.
But as a new streamer who's like, nervous and still trying to figure all this stuff out, I think it's a great place to start, so you can kind of learn
they're
how to make
easy to set
stuff.
up.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That's the thing about Streamlabs and Stream Elements is it's already on something you're familiar with. That's why it is the way it is
yeah.
because it's
Kinda-
super easy to set up because it's
kinda-
already something you're familiar with.
yeah, it's kind of getting your foot in the door to just kind of get familiar with it, really.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And whenever you first start and you don't even know about all these other places that you can get merch. Like I've used Stream Elements was my first one I used. Then I used Teespring, which I really enjoyed. I think they changed their name to something else, just like Spring or something. I can't remember what the name
I
is.
think they literally just swapped it. It's Spring Tea now. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure because
Well,
I was just
there you
looking
go.
into new stores. Yeah.
Yeah, I had them for a while. Didn't have a problem with them, but when the Fourth Wall like started up, I was one of the first group of people that started up with them, and super
Okay,
Great
boomer.
experience.
Okay.
boomer.
Boomer.
So
Oh,
I don't think it matters necessarily where it's at. I think it matters if you're okay with the quality, because at the end of the day, you have to be okay with what you're giving out. Because
Yeah.
people are buying this, it's representing you and your brand.
right.
So do you want your brand to be something that's going to wear off in the machine in a couple washes, or do you want something that's going to last a little while and somebody's going to be able to have? So that's all your choice. And there's also people that don't even use a merch store. They go and print off their own t-shirts and sell their own merch. I
Yeah.
don't recommend doing that.
I
Personally,
tried
you
that
can
with
control
a
quality though.
right. I tried that with a local, shirt store here,
Mhm.
and I just wanted it to do like basic shirts, hoodies, stuff like that. Obviously, like I didn't expect them to do everything, but in order to kind of like, help the community out that I live in, and they wanted me to buy like a backstop of like 100 of
Yeah.
each size shirt. I was like, no, that's not what we're doing. Like people will order it, I'll send it to you, and then we can work out how we send it. Like I was agreeing to pay for shipment and shit just to, help, because I wanted to be supportive to the community, because it's, they go with the school that my kids go to. So I wanted to help. And they just told me no. So I was like, well, whatever. At the end of the day, it's your loss. So
Yeah,
I mean,
whenever you do it that way, you have to buy a backstock.
yeah.
Like it's 100 shirts. It's like 10 shirts this size, 10 shirts this size, so on and so forth. And then you have a limited stock. One thing I'm going to harp on Fourth Wall a little more because I know more about them than most of the other ones
Gotcha.
is there's only certain shirts that go up to 5X that they have. Not everything they have goes up to that size. Some things only go up to 2x, and some things go up to 3. So you really have to like pick and choose what they have. And it's the same thing for if you're running it yourself. You have to have those in stock. And you trying to supply something is more difficult than a company trying to supply something on a grander scale. So I recommend using a merch store that is set up for that already,
Yeah.
because it's way easier at the end of the day. Plus, it costs a lot less because you don't have to pay anything for a merch store to be active.
A lot of less labor on your part as well.
Well,
Mhm.
as a brand new streamer, how do I know what merch to make, what to advertise, what do I put in a merch store? You know, I think that's a real common question we get as well.
Yeah. Most people just use their put their logo on a shirt or on a hat or on a mug.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the most common form of a merch store, really, for any streamer.
Mhm.
I would probably branch away from it personally. You know, there's nothing wrong with having your logo on merch, but why not like come up with some of your own stuff, you know, that kind of outside of your brand, maybe even a slogan that you say a lot, like I'm better.
Huh.
You know,
This guy is stealing my shit.
that would be a nice sticker.
Yeah, no, again, so they're a new streamer, so they don't have that background yet, right? So I think that's where we talk about like it's not like I make a merch store today, I can never change it.
And you can never change
Again.
anything ever.
Right. You know, Sauce is
growing
my
thing.
biggest example here because he's changed colors, he's changed logos, he's changed names. I mean, I've watched this man's store change I don't know how many times. You know, and that's the beauty of it is that whatever your flavor of that month, year, or week is, you can do it if you're willing to put that much work in that often to a store. You know, so yeah, it's like you said, as you become, you know, your own into a streamer, and as you figure out what your brand is and who you are, yeah, absolutely, you can put in slogans, you can put in things, yeah, absolutely, dude. But for a new
like
person,
little characters or stuff like that
Yeah.
you have already. Like Lucky would have like Biscuits, which is the little cat he has on his head
Oh,
whenever
Tabby.
he's streaming,
yeah,
which he can put on his head right now. There it is. If you
There
guys
it
are watching the
is.
video, he could put that because that's something that makes sense for him to have. If I put that in my store, it would make 0 sense because I've never had that on my head before. So why would I do that?
Right.
So I think it's all just about tailoring things to you. Whenever you first start, just make basic merch.
Yeah,
Just
don't
have like
overthink it. Yeah,
a sticker, have a t-shirt, and have a hoodie. That's all you need. Maybe
Just-
maybe a
just
hat
your
if
name.
you want to have.
put your name on there.
It could be your name, it could be your logo, it could be whatever, right?
Mhm.
And make that. No one's gonna buy it for a while anyway. So
Yeah.
as you're streaming, start building that brand, and
Yep.
then you can start making different shirts that you like. Where like at one point, I think I had a Peepaw shirt because I was playing GTA RP, and that was a character that I was playing as, and people thought it was really funny. I had somebody draw something up for it, and it was "They're in the trees" shirt.
No.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, that's right. I remember that one.
So
They're in the trees. Yeah,
that
that's
made
good.
sense for that time to have it. It's not on my merch store anymore because I don't play that game anymore. I don't really use Peepaw anymore.
It was limited
So-
edition.
It was exactly. And that's something you can do too with your merch store eventually when you start getting to that point is you want limited edition stuff. Like you want your classic stuff that's going to be there like all the time, but then you want to have like your Halloween stuff or Christmas stuff or things for holidays or
Yeah.
like maybe like, well, I know that COD's about to be dropping soon, so let's talk about something like the Execution King custom shirt or something, right? For Aztecan. Or the Lucky Dubs shirt for
I
Lucky.
just got a merch idea, bro.
You got the idea? You're welcome. So
Saul
I
says
think
he wants a 70-30 split.
at least I think that's the important thing is just tailoring it to what you're doing at the time. And you're making this stuff because people want to support you in the end, right? So the most popular thing you're going to be selling out of your merch store is a freaking sticker or a mug. Okay.
And yeah,
That is the most prevalent thing you're going to have sold.
cheap and longevity.
People love stickers, man.
Somebody was telling me a super interesting story about somebody just revamping their whole store just because somebody, commented that they didn't like their what was it? Who was it? One of you? Somebody?
Probably, yeah. I'm gonna leave the streamer's name out of it. But yeah, he sat down with a bunch of his moderators, and he was kind of commenting to everybody like, "Hey, like, why isn't any of my merch selling?" And a lot of them said the same thing, like, "Hey, we love you as a person, we love you as a streamer, and we want to support you. But just to be honest with you, I don't want to buy a T-shirt that just has this random logo on it,
Right.
because I'm probably never gonna wear it."
Right.
Yeah. So that made him think, okay, well, I'll just sell stuff that would grab people's attention, that
Okay.
had absolutely nothing to do with his channel or brand whatsoever. And he had a lot more success with it.
That's awesome.
So I
could see it. I could see it building in his jaw. It was just like
I struggle with that because the whole point of merch
it's to
is
represent
not
you.
to sell merch. It's to have people enjoying your content and wearing stuff to represent you because they enjoy it, right?
Like you wear a sports team jersey. Like it's the same.
Exactly.
Right.
So why would I put something in that has nothing to do with me or my content? Like, why would I put a T-Rex chasing a dodo bird just because it looks cool? Like, why would I put that?
That'd make sense for old sauce.
Fit you though, wouldn't it?
For old sauce, maybe.
Yeah.
But okay, here we go. Why would I put someone play or a Baldur's Gate 3 character on there? I've never touched that game.
Yeah.
But I know people really enjoy it.
It's also a licensing issue, I'm sure, but
I'm sure it is. But I'm sure.
But the point of what you're making is absolutely
point is getting across. Someone
right.
or like someone with the username Tractor Farm Simulators 03 doing a 360 no scoping COD.
Exactly. It doesn't make sense.
Guys, stop. That community got really angry at us.
Farm Simulator, why is he going to go get a dog playing poker for his shirt? It makes no sense.
I don't support this.
Now, if he puts a John Deere on there, that makes sense.
Hell yeah, brother.
Right.
John Deere.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Maybe a John Deere that says,
I mean, I don't know, bro. I'm torn between both ways. Like for him, if his goal or them, if their goal was to make money, great move. You're giving to a consumer base of what they're for sure gonna buy. But again, I agree with Sauce. Like as a streamer though, like I would want you're repping me or you're repping the community, I would want that to be incorporated somehow. So like, maybe you get away, but it starts making it expensive when you add too much to it. But like maybe you get away with that, like putting your name real small somewhere, or your, if they don't like the logo, that probably means you should change your logo if nobody likes your logo.
So one's a merch store and one's a storefront.
Basically,
that's the big difference.
Basically, yeah.
Because you can run a storefront, that's fine, but that's
entrepreneur.
Not it's not your merch. Like even though you're making something, like you're making clothes, you're not making merch items for your community.
I'm a designer. Yeah. So I could see, like I said, I can see both ways. Go do you, boo boo. Go make your money, get your money up. But at the same time, like I'm trying to build a brand, I'm trying to build a community, and I want that to be supported. So I see it both ways. So that is super cool. Other than that, I mean, just don't ever think merch, guys. Just make what you want. Put it in there, and when people start to love you, they'll start to buy it. At the end of the day, focusing on you and being an entertainer is really your number one priority. Again, you should go ahead and have it, so you already have it, so it's already made, it's there, it's ready to go, it's ready to rock. But for sure, just do what you want. Don't overthink it. Don't stress that out. I mean, you guys literally live, and that was not scripted. Like I literally, Zosh just gave me an idea for merch, and I've been brainstorming, brain farting really, but new merch ideas. So it's not something that you're gonna come up with in one day, guys. It's a process. It's gonna happen over a period of time. So
yeah,
and I love that you brought
have to happen.
Yeah, I love that you brought holidays and stuff in there. That will actually be in a future episode where we talk about how to stream during the holidays and stuff. So that is super cool. But anyways, guys, that is all the time we have today. I really appreciate you guys. You too, obviously. Love both of you. Good stuff. a little more of a serious episode. We try to end it on a more positive note there at the end. But if you guys have any comments or agreements or disagreements or anything, feel free to reach us on socials. Leave the comments down below. Guys, make sure you smash that like button for the video. Please leave us a sub if you're over there on the YouTubes. I believe Spotify has some kind of ranking or thing. I'm so sorry, Spotify. I didn't read it all the way. But make sure you give us positive review over there. Helps us push out and reach other streamers that are struggling as well. That is it for today. Stream PC out.
Deuces.